The phone buzzes loudly, breaking the silence of the night. Hannah's heart races as she picks it up, expecting a simple message. But the words on the screen shatter her world. "He's been seeing someone else," the text reads. Her breath catches in her throat. Every part of her wants to throw the phone, to scream, to escape, but she's frozen. The room feels colder now, the soft hum of the city outside a cruel contrast to the storm brewing inside her. She's never felt more alone, yet the anger is already rising. Her mind flashes back to the laughter they shared, the promises they made. How could he betray her like this? The tears come, but they're not for the loss anymore. No, this is about revenge. She's done being the victim. Slowly, her trembling hands grip the phone tighter, the glow from the screen casting an eerie light on her face. What's her next move? Can she trust anyone again? Hannah walks through the streets, her mind a whirlwind of emotions. The city around her is oblivious, a sharp contrast to the storm inside her chest. She can't believe what she's just learned, and yet she's not sure why she's so shocked. Hadn't there always been something? A distant look in his eyes, a phone call he'd quickly end when she entered the room. How long had he been lying? It doesn't matter anymore. All that matters now is what she's going to do about it. Her mind races, each thought faster than the last. Revenge isn't just an option. It's a necessity. She'll take back what's hers, no matter the cost. The fear and uncertainty are already fading into a cold, calculating determination. The first step is clear. She needs information. But how much is too much? How deep will she dig into his life before it swallows her whole? Hannah enters the cafe, her heart still racing from the thoughts that had been chasing her. She's meeting a friend, someone who might help her understand what's really going on. But as she takes her seat, she realizes she's not sure who she can trust anymore. Her mind flickers back to the phone call, the words flashing like a warning. He's been seeing someone else. She shakes her head, trying to clear it, but the damage is done. She's lost. Her friend, a guy from her past, sits across from her, but he looks nervous. Why is he nervous? Does he know something? Before she can ask, he speaks, and the weight of his words sinks deeper into her chest. He tells her things she didn't want to hear, things that make her question everything about her life. As Hannah walks back to her apartment, the weight of what she's learned presses down on her. She'd hoped for a different answer, one that might bring peace. But instead, the walls of her life feel like they're closing in. The trust she had is gone, replaced by a deep, burning need for retribution. She stops at the door, keys in hand, and takes a deep breath. She won't let him win. Not this time. She's going to turn the tables, make him feel the same fear, the same helplessness that she felt. The power balance is about to shift. She just needs to figure out how to make him regret the day he crossed her. A dark smile flickers on her lips. Inside her apartment, Hannah starts to make a plan. She goes through their shared possessions, pulling out the papers, the receipts, everything she can find. There's no turning back now. Her mind is set. The coldness is settling in, and it feels strangely good. She knows she has the tools to ruin him, to take everything he's built, piece by piece. Every lie, every secret he thought he'd buried is about to come to light. She just needs to be patient. But patience has never been her strong suit. Still, she'll wait, she'll watch, and when the time is right, she'll strike. Hannah's footsteps echo in the dimly lit alley as she hurries toward the meeting point. Her breath is shallow, quick, urgency building within her. She can feel eyes on her, shadows lurking in every corner. The silence is oppressive, broken only by distant car horns. She pulls her coat tighter around her, trying to shake off the cold sweat on her skin. The text message flashes in her mind. He's been seeing someone else. She can't forget it. The city feels like a maze, every turn a potential danger. She doesn't know who to trust anymore, not even herself. The alley is empty, too quiet, but she knows someone's there watching her. She slows her pace, trying to be cautious, but the sound of footsteps behind her quickens her pulse. A chill runs through her spine. Is it him? Or someone else looking to finish what he started? Hannah takes a deep breath, steadying herself. There's no turning back now. What's waiting for her up ahead? The door to the cafe creaks open, and a flood of warm light spills out, offering a brief reprieve from the dark outside. Hannah steps inside, shaking off the chill, her breath visible in the cold night air. She spots her contact at the far end of the room, a familiar face. The warmth of the cafe is almost soothing, the clinking of cups and low murmurs of conversation around her, creating an odd sense of comfort. She makes her way through the crowded room, her eyes scanning the faces. When she reaches the table, her contact doesn't even look up. "You're late," he says. His voice is low, gruff. He pushes a stack of papers toward her. "I've got what you need." Hannah sits, the weight of what's to come sinking in. She reaches for the papers, her fingers trembling. This isn't just about revenge anymore. It's survival. He might know something she doesn't, something more dangerous. She looks up, searching his face for any sign of deceit. The clock is ticking. The door opens again, and the air shifts. A tall, imposing figure steps inside, casting a long shadow across the room. Hannah's stomach churns. It's him, the enforcer. His eyes meet hers for just a moment, enough to send a jolt through her. He doesn't say a word, but his presence fills the room, suffocating it. The contact flinches, a subtle movement that betrays his unease. "You shouldn't be here," he says in a barely audible whisper. The enforcer's gaze never leaves Hannah as he walks toward the counter, his heavy boots echoing with each step. She can feel the tension rising. It's a message, a warning. "You're getting too close," her contact mutters. "You need to back off, now." Hannah's mind races, her pulse quickening. She won't back down, not now. But the power in the room is shifting, and she can feel it. What is he really after? The next day, Hannah finds herself in an unexpected place, the old bookstore at the edge of town, a haven of quiet amidst the chaos. She's meeting with Michael, an old acquaintance who's been in the business longer than she's been alive. The bookstore smells of old paper and dust, the scent mixing with the faint aroma of coffee from a nearby corner. "You're playing a dangerous game," Michael says, his voice soft but firm. "You've stepped into something bigger than you think. They won't just let you walk away once you've started digging." He pauses, glancing at the rows of books. "You need to be careful, Hannah. This isn't just about revenge anymore. It's about survival." Hannah absorbs his words, the weight of them settling over her like a storm cloud. She knows she's crossing a line, but there's no turning back. "What's the next move?" she asks, her voice steady. Michael looks at her, a mixture of concern and admiration in his eyes. "Stay smart and trust no one." With Michael's words echoing in her mind, Hannah returns to her apartment, her nerves on edge. She's not sure who she can trust anymore, but she can't afford to back down. Her hand hovers over the phone, a decision weighing on her. She needs to act now. The pieces are falling into place, and she can't let fear control her. Her body moves on instinct, grabbing the keys and heading toward the door. Her heart is pounding as she steps outside, her mind already on the next phase of her plan. Every step takes her closer to a confrontation she's been avoiding. The enforcer's warning echoes in her ears, but it's not enough to stop her. If she doesn't move now, she risks losing everything. This is no longer just about revenge. It's about taking back control of her life. The cafe is quiet, with the soft hum of the espresso machine in the background. Hannah sits at a corner table waiting. The air is warm, comfortable, almost peaceful. Then a figure walks in. Someone unexpected. It's her husband, Daniel. He smiles as he sees her, but there's a forced edge to it. Something that doesn't sit right with her. "I didn't expect to see you here," he says, taking a seat across from her. His words are too casual, too rehearsed. Hannah's stomach twists. Something's off. They've been distant, but this feels different. She doesn't trust the ease in his voice, the way he leans forward, as if trying to reassure her with his presence. She watches him closely, searching for any sign that something isn't as it seems. The weight of his silence speaks louder than his words. She nods, trying to mask her unease, but inside her mind races. Is this the calm before the storm? What is he hiding? The conversation starts slow, with Daniel asking about her day. But there's a sense of tension building, thickening the air between them. Hannah responds, but her voice betrays a hint of distrust. They talk of trivial matters, but their eyes keep locking, as if there's something unspoken. She leans in slightly, trying to gauge his expression. His smile falters, just for a moment, but it's enough. "Hannah, I've been thinking." He trails off, his gaze lingering on her face, studying her. She holds her breath, unsure of what's coming. He reaches out almost instinctively and places his hand over hers. The gesture feels comforting at first, but it's too careful, too deliberate. Her heart races, her mind whirling with questions. Why now? Why this sudden tenderness? Something doesn't add up. Is this a final attempt at control, or a feigned attempt at reconciliation? A faint sense of dread lingers, though neither of them speaks of it aloud. The door to the cafe swings open, and in walks Michael, the man who has been helping Hannah along the way. His eyes meet hers, and she can tell something's wrong. He walks over to the table, his steps slower than usual. "We need to talk," Michael says, his voice low, laced with urgency. Daniel stiffens at the mention of Michael's name, a flicker of something dark passing through his eyes. Hannah feels the air thicken, the walls closing in. Michael glances at Daniel before taking a seat, clearly uncomfortable. "It's not safe," Michael says, his eyes not leaving Daniel's. "You're playing with fire, and I don't think you even realize how deep this goes." The words hang in the air, chilling the warmth that had been there moments ago. Hannah looks from Michael to Daniel, searching for any sign of deception. What is Michael trying to warn her about? And why does Daniel look so afraid? Something is unraveling, and she's standing right in the middle of it. The air is electric now, the moment hanging between them like a razor's edge. Michael's warning hangs in the silence as Daniel shifts uncomfortably in his seat. "You don't understand," Daniel says suddenly, his voice low, filled with an emotion that almost sounds like desperation. "I did this to protect you." Hannah blinks, confused, her heart pounding in her chest. "Protect me?" she asks, her voice shaking. "By betraying me?" The words cut through the air. Daniel doesn't respond immediately. He just stares at her, his face pale, as if the truth is too heavy to bear. For a moment there's nothing but silence, until Daniel finally speaks, his voice barely a whisper. "I never wanted you to know. I was trying to protect you from the truth." The realization hits like a punch to the gut. The trust she had, it was a lie. Daniel wasn't the man she thought he was. In that instant, everything she thought she knew crumbles. Betrayal. Heartbreak. Hannah stands in the doorway of her apartment, her mind reeling from the bombshell she just uncovered. Her hands shake as she holds the doorframe for support. The silence in the room is deafening, the weight of Daniel's confession hanging over her like a storm cloud. She had been so sure, so certain of her plan, her revenge. But now, the world she thought she knew is shattered. How could she have been so blind? She thought she was in control, but now the truth feels like a chain, heavier than anything she could have imagined. She turns and walks into the living room, her movements slow, as if every step takes her deeper into the truth. The darkness of the room mirrors the emptiness inside her. She looks at the papers scattered on the desk, the evidence she thought would destroy him. Now, it feels meaningless. The truth is worse than any lie. The man she thought she knew had been hiding something far more dangerous than infidelity. But it's not over, not yet. She'll find a way to make him pay. But the path ahead is now uncertain. What comes next? The apartment is silent, the stillness heavy in the air. The weight of everything that's happened presses down on Hannah as she sits in the dim glow of the lamp. The chaos of the past days has faded, leaving only the emptiness behind. Her mind is spinning, piecing together the fragments of truth she's uncovered. The betrayal stings, but there's something else now. A realization is dawning, one she's been avoiding. She reaches for the papers, the ones that once seemed like weapons, now just reminders of the lies she's been fed. Her eyes linger on them, but her mind drifts back to the moment in the cafe. Daniel's words echo in her mind. I did this to protect you. But protect her from what? The truth is buried deeper than she thought, hidden in plain sight. Her fingers hover over the papers before she sets them aside, something inside her shifting. The truth is coming, but it's not what she expected. The memories flood in. Hannah's mind drifts back to the early days with Daniel. They were so happy then. But now, looking back, everything seems tainted. The flashes of laughter, the stolen kisses, the quiet moments together. It's all gone, replaced by a veil of lies. She can almost smell the cologne he used to wear, the way his voice would soften when he said her name. But now she sees the cracks, the things she didn't notice before. The missed calls, the late nights, the way he avoided certain topics. The pieces are falling into place, and it's not the picture she thought it was. She remembers a time when he'd look at her like she was his world, but now she can only see the truth, that he was hiding something. And now, she's the one who's been blind. The betrayal didn't start with her discovery. It started long before. The knock on the door interrupts her thoughts. Hannah's breath catches as she stands, heart racing. She knows who it is before she even opens the door. Michael. His face is unreadable, but she can see the weight of something heavy in his eyes. We need to talk, he says, his voice low. There's an edge to it that wasn't there before. The silence between them feels thick, each second stretching into eternity. I didn't want you to find out like this, he adds. Hannah looks at him, eyes searching for answers, for the truth. Find out what? She whispers, her voice barely audible. Michael takes a step closer, his eyes flickering with hesitation. Everything you think you know? It's all been a lie. You're in deeper than you realize. The words cut through the air, sharp and unforgiving. Hannah steps back, her mind reeling. The truth is unraveling, but how far does it go? Michael steps inside, closing the door behind him with a soft click. The tension is palpable as he takes a deep breath and faces Hannah. You have to understand, he begins. Daniel never meant for you to find out, but this has always been bigger than just the two of you. His words hang in the air, heavy with meaning. What are you talking about? Hannah asks, her voice trembling. Michael looks at her with a mix of regret and determination. Daniel isn't the one you should be focused on. The real enemy is far more dangerous than you realize. He pauses, his eyes darkening. He's been protecting you from something far worse than you can imagine, and now you're part of it. The words hit her like a blow. The room feels colder now, the walls closing in. Everything she thought she knew, it's all slipping away. Who are we really fighting? She asks, barely able to hold back the flood of emotions. Michael doesn't answer immediately. Instead, he looks at her, his face filled with the weight of a secret too dark to fully reveal. Hannah stands at the window, her gaze distant, the weight of the revelations settling in. The rain falls softly outside, but inside, her mind is a storm. The truth has shattered her world, and now there's no going back. Michael's words echo in her mind. You're part of it. She doesn't know what to believe anymore. Daniel wasn't the villain. Neither was Michael. The true enemy was always out of reach, hiding in the shadows, pulling the string. She had been a pawn in a game she didn't understand. But now the game has changed. The truth is clear. She's not just seeking revenge anymore. She's seeking redemption. She has the power now, the knowledge, the clarity. She turns away from the window, her face set in a hard, determined expression. So this was the truth all along, she murmurs, her voice steady. The storm inside her begins to calm, and in its place, a new resolve takes root. She's not just going to survive this, she's going to make them pay. The air is thick with anticipation. The sound of Hannah's breath is the only thing she hears as she stands outside the door, her hand trembling on the handle. Inside, the lights flicker as if sensing the impending clash. Her heart pounds in her chest, a steady rhythm that mirrors the pressure building within her. She knows what's coming. The silence is deafening. Her eyes dart around, her mind racing. There's no more time for hesitation. Every step she's taken, every choice has led her here. She's ready, but part of her wonders if she's truly prepared for the impact. The door creaks open, the room beyond dark and tense. Shadows dance on the walls, as if waiting for the storm to break. She steps inside and the moment shifts. Her pulse quickens as she locks eyes with Daniel. It's time, she whispers, her voice steady but carrying the weight of everything that's happened. And then, without another word, the world tilts, and the confrontation begins. Hannah steps forward, her voice sharp. I'm done being manipulated. The tension in the room thickens, each word hanging in the air like a warning. Daniel stands across from her, his eyes hardening as she speaks. You don't get to control me anymore, she continues, her words cutting through the space between them. All the lies, all the secrets, they end today. His expression shifts, a flicker of something dark flashing in his eyes. You think you've got it all figured out? He sneers. You don't know anything. The words feel like daggers, but Hannah doesn't flinch. I know enough, she says, her voice steady as the storm outside rages. I know who you really are. They circle each other, tension crackling in the air. It's more than a battle of words. It's a clash of everything they've built. The fight isn't just for survival. It's for truth, and it's about to explode. The sound of a sharp gasp fills the room as the confrontation escalates. Michael suddenly steps forward, trying to intervene. Stop, he shouts, but it's too late. A struggle ensues. Daniel pushes him aside, and in that moment, Michael stumbles, falling hard to the ground. No, Hannah cries out, rushing to his side. Blood stains his shirt as he tries to catch his breath. I'm sorry, Hannah, he whispers, his voice weak. The room is chaotic now, the air thick with the taste of fear and pain. As Michael's life slips away, so does a part of Hannah's soul. She feels the weight of his sacrifice, the price of truth. She looks up, eyes filled with anguish, but her resolve hardens. She's not backing down. Not now, not after everything that's been lost. The fight has shifted, no longer just for herself, but for those who have fallen in her wake. Hannah stands tall, fury burning in her eyes as she faces Daniel. The world has narrowed down to this moment, to this confrontation. You're the one who's been lying, she says, voice low but fierce. You're the one who betrayed me. Daniel steps forward, his voice calm and composed. like he's in control. "I did what I had to do," he says, a hint of arrogance in his tone. "You just couldn't see the bigger picture." Hannah's eyes narrow as she steps closer, the anger in her chest rising. "The bigger picture?" she repeats, her voice trembling with emotion. "The only picture you ever saw was your own. The world outside is a blur." Rain pounding against the windows as their voices clash. In this moment, everything comes to a head. All the pain, all the lies, all the darkness that has surrounded them. It's not just a fight for survival anymore. It's a fight for justice, for herself, for everything that's been stolen. The storm outside has calmed, but the silence inside is deafening. Hannah stands alone, her body bruised but her spirit unbroken. The world around her feels different now, quieter somehow. She looks at the empty space where Daniel once stood. The battle is over, but the cost was immense. Michael's sacrifice lingers in her heart, a painful reminder of everything she's lost. Yet, in the silence, she knows one thing. She's no longer the woman who was blind to the truth. She's someone new, someone stronger. The fight has changed her, and the world she once knew is gone. She turns away from the empty room, walking toward the window. The city outside is quiet, but in her heart, she's ready for whatever comes next. The past is behind her. The future is waiting. The sun rises softly outside, light streaming through the window. The room is still, silent. All the chaos, the pain, and the fury have faded. The world feels quieter now, somehow emptier. Hannah sits at the edge of the bed, eyes fixed on the window. The air is heavy with a sense of finality. Her breath is shallow, every inhale a quiet struggle. She's lost so much, and yet in this silence she feels a strange calm. The battle is over. The anger that once consumed her now feels distant, like a memory she can't quite touch. She's left with only the pieces of her life to pick up. She looks around the room, the weight of everything that's happened settling over her. What remains now? She doesn't know. But in this quiet, she knows she's different. The world has changed, and so has she. All that's left is to face what comes next. Hannah stands outside, the cool morning air brushing against her skin. She walks slowly, her footsteps echoing in the stillness. Her mind drifts back to Michael's words, the ones that echo in her mind like a ghost. She's been through so much, seen so many betrayals, but now there's only silence. She thinks of the lives that have been lost, the pain that has scarred her, and the path that led her here. Her heart aches with the memories of those she's lost. Yet, as she moves forward, a sense of peace begins to wash over her. She's not the same person who walked into this mess. She's learned, grown, and perhaps found a part of herself that was lost. The guilt lingers, but she knows now that life continues, even when things seem broken. She can't change the past, but she can shape what comes next. Michael's figure appears in the distance, walking slowly toward her. His face is pale, his steps heavy with exhaustion. He's not the man he was before, and neither is she. As he gets closer, they stop, standing face to face. There's no need for words. The pain is still there, but there's something else now. Understanding. He looks at her with a gentle sadness in his eyes, and she can feel the weight of all they've been through. "I'm sorry," he whispers, his voice breaking the silence. Hannah's breath catches, the apology she never thought she'd hear. She doesn't respond immediately, but when she does, her voice is soft, almost fragile. "We both lost so much," she says, her eyes holding his with a quiet intensity. The air between them is heavy, yet there's a flicker of peace. "But we survived," she whispers, a quiet strength in her words. Later, Hannah sits alone, her mind reflecting on all the lessons Michael had tried to teach her. She remembers the moments when he had spoken of strength, of the importance of resilience, of accepting the pain without letting it define you. Those words had seemed distant at the time, but now they resonate deeply within her. She feels the weight of his wisdom, the way he had guided her, even when she couldn't see the truth. It's not the end, he had always said. It's just the beginning of something new. Those words echo in her mind now, and she realizes that for all the destruction, something new has begun. She's not the same person who entered this battle. She's stronger, wiser, and perhaps ready to face what's next. The time has come for Hannah to make a final choice. She stands at the crossroads, not just in her life, but in her heart. She knows now that she can't undo what's been done, but she can choose how to move forward. She takes a deep breath, the weight of everything heavy in her chest. The pain, the loss, it's all part of her now, woven into her very being. But it doesn't define her. So this is it, she whispers to herself, a small, sad smile crossing her face. This is where it ends. The world feels different now, quieter, but more alive. The storm inside her is past, leaving only the calm that comes after the rain. She steps forward, her body steady, her heart clear. The road ahead may be uncertain, but she's ready for it. For the first time in a long time, she feels at peace. The chapter is over, but the story isn't finished. Not yet. The world is still. The light outside is soft, muted, as if everything is holding its breath. Hannah sits on the balcony, looking out over the quiet city. Her body is still, but her mind is racing. The past few days feel like a blur. The anger, the betrayal, the pain. It's all too much to process. But now, in this moment, there is calm. The world is quiet, almost like it's waiting for something. She remembers Michael's words, the ones that have followed her through this journey. It's not the end. It's just the beginning of something new. But what is this new beginning? What remains after all of this? The questions linger in her mind, but there is no immediate answer. All she knows is that the world feels different now. She's different. What was lost can never be replaced. But perhaps something can be rebuilt. Hannah stands and slowly walks toward the door. Her footsteps are light, echoing in the stillness of the apartment. She moves with purpose, but a sense of weight in each step. The air feels different now, less heavy. She takes one last look at the room, the place where it all started, and the place where it ended. It's time to let go. She takes a deep breath, the past fading into memory as she steps into the hallway. The door closes softly behind her. There's no turning back now, but she's no longer afraid of what comes next. She's ready to leave the past behind and step into something unknown. Hannah walks through the park, the trees casting long shadows as the sun begins to set. The world is still, yet something inside her is stirring. She passes a bench where Michael once sat, and for a moment she hears his voice in her head. "Stay strong, Hannah. You've got this." The memory of his words fills her with warmth, and she stops for a moment, letting the memory settle. She doesn't feel anger anymore, just a deep lingering sadness. She wishes things had been different, but she knows now that she's ready to carry on. Michael's legacy, his hope for her, has stayed with her, and she will not forget it. The world continues to turn, but for a moment, she allows herself to reflect on the past and what it has taught her. Life moves on. New faces, new rhythms, new moments. The world doesn't stop turning for anyone. Hannah watches the people around her, lost in their own lives, moving past the place where everything changed. She knows now that everything has shifted, even if they can't see it. The world feels heavier, but also more hopeful. The sky is still dark in places, but the light is beginning to push through. As she moves forward, she feels a sense of closure, though not finality. There's still so much left to discover. But now she's no longer afraid to face what comes. The city feels quieter, but it's alive, full of possibility. Hannah pauses at the street corner, the world moving around her in a blur. She takes a deep breath, feeling the weight of everything she's been through. So this was the truth all along, she whispers to herself, a soft smile forming. It's not a smile of joy, but of understanding. She's made it through. The road has been long, but the journey has brought her to this moment. She doesn't need to look back anymore. Her past has shaped her, but it will not define her. The future is uncertain, but she's ready for it. She takes a final step forward, the world opening up before her.